Greetings, friends. I'm AK.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
the Chainsaw Girls. On today's episode, we are doing another... Oh my God, I forgot the name of the show. American Horror Story.
Season 1, Murder House.
Yes, we're all very excited. We are on episode 2.
Home Invasion.
Home Invasion. And we both talked about, we watched this live when it was on, yes?
Yes, I was live tweeting it at the time.
Really?
When live tweeting was so much fun.
Whoa, live tweeting was fun back in the day.
Twitter was fun.
Yeah, I haven't had that in a real long time.
No, absolutely not.
So when we left off in the last episode, Viv found out that she is pregnant. Ben looked thrilled, but also very concerned at the end.
Mm-hmm.
We found out some things about Constance. We found out a lot of interesting things about the Harmons.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Haunted house and all. Should we hop right into the episode?
I think we should,
Let's
because
do it.
there's so much to say, but it's so sprinkled throughout, right?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Let's do it.
So if you have not checked out our first episode, that's confusing. The first episode of American Horror Story, you know what I'm saying. If you didn't check out our last episode about American Horror Story, go check that out so you know what the hell we're talking about.
Love that.
There we go.
I love it. Okay, so we are opening up on an old vehicle. Looks like we're in the past here. We see Murder House, and it kind of feels like a sorority a little bit.
Yes.
And then we find out we are in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was kind of interesting. Everything shot in this opening scene was actually shot inside the Rosenheim mansion. It wasn't a set.
Okay, yeah.
Thought that was kind of neat.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So we're introduced to a couple of new characters here. We have Maria. She's played by Rosa Salazar. And she's sitting in the living room. She's studying. We see a bunch of other girls there. They're going to a Doors concert. They ask her to come. She's like, no, I have to do this, test tomorrow. She's sitting with a friend of hers named Gladys. She's played by Cecilia Finkelstein. And I really liked the little interaction here. Like, the girls are being a little bit catty and kind of like shitty to Maria.
Yeah.
And Gladys tells them all that they can go get the clap.
I love that you call her Gladys.
Is that her name?
Gladys? I mean, I'm like, maybe that's a Canadian accent for Gladys. I love it. It's cute. Gladys.
I'm not even 5 minutes into the episode.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be slap happy today.
Wow. Okay, the best part of me calling her Gladys is in parentheses. I wrote,
I think. I think her name is Gladys. Do you play Wordle at all?
I used to.
Okay, you know how like when you have one letter left and you're trying to sound out every possible combination and you're making up words that are like, they don't even exist. And
right, you're like, is that a word?
You're like, and then you're like, oh, the word is like round.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying to find a word and then it's really like something so simple like cat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And you're like, kit?
You're like, what is it? Yes. Okay, so the other girls are like, we're going to this Doors concert. They take off. Maria and Gladys are chilling, and then they hear a knock at the door. Maria goes to check it out. They assume that it's just the girls messing with them, but no, it is not. We are soon going to find out that this is R. Franklin. This is a man who is asking for help. He has some kind of wound on his head, and right off the hop, he comes across pretty creepy, but he's basically just asking for help.
Right.
And Maria's like, all right, I'll help you. They let him inside, and she goes to clean his wound. Right off the hop, though, this guy is so sus. He's being immediately creepy.
Yeah, like he's polite at first, but then he's grabbing her necklace. He's like, do you think Jesus is going to save you? Already, I'd be like, you got to go.
I know. And she's like, yes, I think he will. And I'm like, oh, babe.
Yeah.
This, you know what? I don't really think he wants to know.
Yeah.
I think it was a rhetorical question. So as Maria starts to sort of clean the blood off of his head, she realizes there's no wound. So I would assume that R. Franklin came there for ulterior motives.
Yeah. And unfortunately, she says it out loud, which cues him to react.
Exactly. He's definitely super creepy. Like, I would say, like, even when he was at the door, he seemed super creepy to me.
Yeah, he's being very polite. Like, oh, please, ladies, will you just help me? But
I feel like he was cast specifically because he does both so well.
Yeah.
He comes across as both creepy and also could just be a normal guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the inspiration for this character is the real life serial killer Richard Speck, which
Ooh.
I have information on soon in my notes, but we'll get there.
This is BTK?
No.
Oh.
Different killer.
Which one?
The student nurse murders
in
in Chicago. There are some similarities to what they showed here, and then a lot of differences, of course, because Ryan Murphy, I mean, as we know now, this was the first season of American Horror Story, but now in 2026, we know that he does like taking real life serial killers and putting his own spin on it.
Right. That makes sense. The name sounds so familiar. I used to be super into true crime maybe like 10 years ago. It scared me so much so that I had to stop watching and learning and reading and watching because it's, I don't know. I have different feelings about it now. But that name definitely rings a bell.
He's disgusting, and this case is horrible.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Gross. Okay. So any hoogly boos, Gladys tries to get away. She realizes that shit's hitting the fan. She tries to get away. He grabs her. He kind of tosses her onto the floor. And then Maria's going to wake up.
Did we mention that she got smashed in the head with that ashtray bowl? We might have forgot to mention that, but she does get smashed in the head.
Who does?
Because I went on a side tangent. Sorry.
Who gets hit in the head, Maria? Oh, this is why she's waking up.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. So apparently Maria gets hit in the head with an ashtray. Poor Maria. She wakes up and she is waking up to what feels like drops of water onto her head. Terrifying. Okay. It's kind of falling onto her face. This guy, what is his name?
R. Franklin.
He tosses clothes at her and tells her to change into them. And he does it in such a filthy way. Like, it's so gross. And it made my skin crawl. She is like, pleading with him a little bit here and there. And he doesn't care. He's like, just take your clothes off and put this outfit on for me. And then, this is so scary to me. He hog ties her.
Yeah.
Dude.
And she's on the couch.
She's on the couch, okay? She's super scared. And as she's hogtied, her face is kind of laying against the couch and she starts praying. She's reciting an act of resignation by Pope the 10th, I guess. It is a common prayer for Catholics when they prepare to die. So if anyone was interested.
I was going to say, I was raised Catholic. I know you were too. And I don't remember that, but maybe that's why we don't know that part.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I would be I wouldn't be praying the Lord's Prayer, but I think that is probably what I would back when I was a kid, right? That's kind of like we were always told, say the Lord's Prayer when you feel scared.
The Lord's Prayer, but what she was saying, I didn't recognize.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Apparently you say that right before you're supposed to die. I don't know.
Yikes.
But it gets very quiet in the room. It's getting a little bit quiet. So Maria is like starting to kind of listen. And it's that moment of like, wait, did he leave? Is he gone? And she kind of lets out an exhale, and then he pops up from behind the couch and stabs her over and over and over in the back. It is absolutely horrifying. And then we cut to present day.
Yeah. When I watched this in 2011, it did not resonate with me the way it did when I just rewatched it. Because since then, I have heard the Richard Speck case, and knowing that's what it was supposed to be inspired by, it just felt very different watching it. I won't get into too much detail because we are not a true crime podcast, but I do recommend you go listen to, if you want to hear more details about this case, go listen to The Morbid. It's a 2-part episode about Richard Speck and the student nurse murders, but some similarities and some differences. So these real murders took place in 1966 in Chicago, as opposed to 1968 in LA. Richard Speck murdered 8 nurses, and there was 1 survivor. And sometimes I hate breezing over that because it's such a horrific thing that it's so unsettling when, this scene is so quick. It's not like it's a story about this actual case. But we also, the show isn't about him. It's just something that was inspired by that I want to mention without getting into too much detail, because I feel like true crime podcasts, they do have a lot of responsibility to really pay respects to the victims and say their names and things like that. I actually just re-listened to those episodes on the way here to get a refresher. Yeah. And it's horrific what he did. And I'm glad he's dead.
Yikes.
So anyway.
We're in present day now.
Yes. Your face.
No, I'm just like, because honestly, I can't imagine what it was really like if that's what the scene was like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're in present day now, and Tate is in a session with the worst psychiatrist on the planet, Dr. Ben Harmon.
What did we say earlier? We're talking off air. We're like, he needs his license revoked.
Oh, it's got to be taken away. This guy has no business. at all taking care of patients, but
Yeah.
I digress. He's in a session with Tate, and Tate is, well, one, Ben is dodging phone calls. Okay, his phone keeps ringing. He apologizes to Tate about it. Tate is being a little shit here. Tate is instigating. He's telling Ben that he has a lot of sexual fantasies about Violet, that he masturbates a lot. And you can just tell that he is trying to get a reaction out of Ben.
Yes.
And Ben is doing his best to keep calm and to keep Tate on track. Like, he, instead of, you know, kind of playing into it, he asks him like, well, if you masturbate a lot, does that help you, you know, get through the day or whatever? And he's like, yeah, it really does help me. It takes my mind off stuff. Like,
Yeah, at one point he says it helps, like jerking off a lot helps him make the visions of blood and carnage go away.
right.
Like, can you imagine? I mean, Ben is supposed to be a professional, having to no sell that. Like, you're just sitting there like, like me in that reel.
Mhm. And also the fact that he's talking about his daughter while also talking about how
Yes.
he distracts himself from this like carnage and stuff. But at the same time, like, it's very, to me, it didn't seem very, it just seemed like he was fucking with Ben.
100%. And I will say Ben, at least here, does something good and he is able to keep it professional. And he just
Right.
completely,
Kind of no sells it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Then Ben's phone just keeps ringing. And here we find out this is Hayden. This is the student that he had an affair with. Well, guess what? Hayden is pregnant.
Cue creepy ass intro.
I hate Ben Harmon.
You know what the intro reminds me of?
Mm.
An adult version of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
100%.
It's just the random creepy images,
Yep.
the creepy music in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
100%. Can we pause for just a second?
Yep.
If I don't take this sweater off, I'm going to overheat. So 2 seconds. I brought a shirt
Do
with
it.
me.
So Violet is now at a skate park. She's sitting with Leah.
It's an empty swimming pool that they turned into like a skate park indoor thing. And the only reason I know that is because the first time I saw it, I was like, I want to hang out there so bad.
Yeah.
It's like an old abandoned swimming pool.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool with all the like weird, like there's like candles and stuff. It's just lit really cool. It's a vibe.
It is
High
a
school
vibe.
me would have 100% been there.
Oh, I remember going to a skate park when I was like 12, like 2 times. I don't
You're
skate.
so cute. 2 times.
2 times because my friend and I walked all the way there and we were just like checking people out. We did not skate.
Oh, okay.
We were just there like,
just watching stuff.
hi boys.
Hey, that's all right. Listen, I used to skateboard when I was in high school. I couldn't do anything cool. The only thing I could do was like flip my board up. I can flip and land on it.
Oh, I don't even think I could get down the street in one piece.
I think you could do it.
You believe in me?
Of course.
Thanks.
Always.
I don't know about a kickflip though.
I can't do it now. My God, I'd probably die.
You know what? I believe in you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go buy skateboards and we're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna be skateboarders.
Oh my gosh, that's how. Never mind. Okay. So Violet is sitting with Leah and they're just watching everyone skate like me at 12 years old. And Leah is wearing this large sun hat and sunglasses inside. And if you remember in the last episode, she got attacked by something in the basement at Murder House. It's interesting that she's hanging out with Leah here because Leah has been nothing but a bully to her. But I think now she feels some kind of guilt because
sure.
of what happened to her.
100%. I think they both got scared,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Yeah. And Leah's smoking and she has this bandage on her face. She's just traumatized. Her hair is turning white from fear. And Violet is trying to tell her, you know, Tate was just wearing a mask. Like nothing. I didn't really see anything. And Leah's trying to remember what happened. She's like, I just remember the teeth,
The teeth, yeah.
the really sharp teeth.
Oh yeah, and that she asks Violet, she's like, "Do you believe in the devil?" And Violet's like, "Nah." And she's like, "I do, because I looked into his eyes."
Oh,
Yo, that's scary. That's like I saw the devil in your basement. What?
yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
And I believe that she did. So we cut to later that night. Violet's sleeping in her bed and we see Tate is just standing at the foot of it, just staring at her.
Listen, I want someone obsessed with me, but like not like that.
No, that's too far.
That's a little too far. Unless I know you're there and like your job is to protect me, like, okay.
Yes.
Okay, King, you can stay there. But it's a little far.
Yeah. Suddenly the alarm goes off and Ben runs downstairs shirtless.
Listen, I do not like Ben Harmon, okay, at all. However, there are 2 things about this. One, Dylan McDermott, you know,
Come on.
must I say anything else? But also, this is why I thought it was hot as hell. because he immediately, Violet was the first thing he said, grabbed a bat, walked around that house while the alarm is blaring. He has no idea who's in the house with the bat ready to go. That was hot to me.
Shirtless and protecting the house.
Like,
the only good thing he has done.
the only thing, but that was hot.
That was hot.
I went, okay, Ben.
All right,
Ben.
One point on your side, and that's it.
Yeah, meanwhile, he's like negative 500.
I was just about to say. So Ben goes downstairs to the basement. He ends up finding Addie in the basement giggling.
Playing ball with someone or something.
Yeah, she's rolling a ball across the room, just having a grand old time. And Ben's like, okay. He goes back upstairs. He's like, Addie, you gotta go. As he goes back upstairs, we see the ball roll back across the room, and no one's down there that we're aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back in the bedroom, Ben, he's telling Vivian about it, and he calls Addie a little freak, and Vivian gets so upset. She's like, don't call her that. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And then she tells Ben she has a feeling that something's wrong with her baby.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, at the end of the last episode, she found out that she is pregnant.
Right. And she lost a baby months prior, and she's very nervous now because she's not getting morning sickness. She's concerned that the baby, there's something wrong with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Ben over here is just fertile myrtle, apparently. Just getting everyone knocked up.
God, he's the worst. Just absolutely terrible. Okay, also, can I also say this? Like, one thing about this scene that drove me crazy, and I'm so glad she calls him out. She's telling him, like, I'm concerned, I don't have like, these are real concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having morning sickness, and she has a history of miscarriages. So, like, of course you'd be concerned. He mansplains to her why it's actually her stress that's causing this. Okay, like, he's just such a selfish sack of shit that this whole scene just like,
yeah.
Why it bothered me also is, like, he legit says to her, this baby is our salvation. Like, number one, Ben, your wife has had miscarriages before. So way to put a whole fuck ton of pressure on her womb to keep this baby safe. That is so unfair to do to a fucking woman.
That's very true.
It's so fucked to me. I was like, and also, like, it's so textbook. If we just have a baby, all of our problems will be better. And it's like, no.
Yeah, a baby is not going to save your relationship.
At all.
It's probably going to make it a lot worse, actually. I'm sorry.
Way worse. And why are you bringing a baby into what clearly is an unhealthy marriage?
Yeah.
And I love Vivian to death. And I'm like, girl, you are so much better than this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On one hand, I also see it as he's trying to console her. But because of what we know about Ben,
I just hate him.
He does this a lot, especially with his therapy speak.
Like, I think he's well-intended. I'm not saying he's intending to be an asshole or a bad person. He has very good intentions in the moments that he has them.
Yeah.
But he also does a lot of terrible shit outside of those moments.
Very true.
And
he also just happens to be an asshole.
All of these things. All of the above are true. Anyways.
Now we cut to Ben in session with a different client.
Oh my God. I felt so bad for Bianca.
Bianca?
I felt terrible.
At first.
I'm mixing up Bianca with Sally.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for Sally. When we get to Sally, I felt terrible. No, Bianca.
I was gonna say, at first.
Bianca is a straight up weirdo. Bianca is sitting across from Ben. This is a new client, and she's reciting to him this like dream that she's having. It's a reoccurring nightmare where she gets into an elevator and the elevator stops and she tries to get out of the elevator, but then the elevator starts when her body is halfway out, and it ends up cutting her in half, right? So she just keeps having this reoccurring nightmare where she keeps dying, okay? She's explaining this very deadpan, almost as if she's just reciting something that she, she's not emotionally attached to, essentially, right?
Yeah, and you can tell right off the bat, she has a little bit of like hippie vibes. Like, yeah, man.
Very much giving like Charles Manson, like family vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So she kind of tells him the story, and then she starts asking about the house. She kind of switches gears. She starts asking, and she refers to their home as Murder House. So this is the first time we really hear Murder House.
Yeah.
Or it being referred to as Murder House. She goes on to tell Ben that their house is on the Murder House tour, which he had no idea about. And he assumed that she got his information through SAG because she's an actor. And she's kind of like, yeah. Then he tries to kind of ask her questions about the career, but she just keeps coming right back to Murder House. That's all she wants is to talk about Murder House, right? We're going to cut to Ben. He's on the phone. He's talking to what appears to be Tate's mother, and he's basically saying, I cannot treat your son anymore. He's getting involved with my daughter. It's a no-go from me. He's interrupted by Bianca, who's now wandering around the house in awe. And he's kind of like, yo, why are you still in my house? The session's over. Can you please leave? And he walks her towards the door. And for all intents and purposes, it seems as though she's left. Okay.
Yeah, she's super creepy. She wants to know how many rooms are in the house. She's very fascinated with Murder House.
Oh, yeah. Like, and it's just weird that she stayed in the house.
Yeah. She's like, I got lost.
I got lost. Yeah. I mean, it is a big house, but.
Yeah.
So now we're going to cut to Constance, who is baking in the kitchen. All right. She's making some cupcakes. And Addie's with her. Addie's looking at a magazine and she asks Constance why she doesn't look like the girls in the magazine. And it's just very heartbreaking to me. Constance is such a like hard person to sort of have compassion for because she's really nasty to Addie. Like she's a terrible person.
Yeah.
What I love about Constance and what I love about obviously the writing of it is like she's so layered that I love the moments where you really see her feeling and you know that even though she's done terrible things, she still, you know, has paid the price for it, I guess, in a way, you know?
She's done terrible things. She continues to say horrible things.
She's just,
But she's also, it's like one of those situations where I think of it more of a sibling situation where like you'll beat up your siblings, but no one else can mess with them.
Yes.
She says horrible things about Addie, but then she's also very protective over Addie.
So protective of her. Yes. Okay. So speaking of terrible things that she's doing, she's in the middle of making these cupcakes and she just very casually says to Addie, hey, can you just go into the cupboard there and get me that Epicac syrup? Now, for those that don't know, Epicac syrup, it makes you violently like ill. It makes you throw up. Everything that's in your stomach is going to come out. And this is why she mentions, you know, if you take too much of it, you can have internal bleeding.
Yeah, they used to use it to make people, to induce vomiting for a poisoning, like an at-home poisoning remedy. But it's since been discontinued for at least being able to purchase it over the counter because it has very negative side effects.
It's also been abused or was widely abused, unfortunately, with eating disorders. It's very it was common at that point back then. I don't even know if you can get it now, but I know at one point because it makes you ill.
Yeah.
So that maybe that has something to do with also why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I have no idea. But the first time I ever heard of Epicac was this movie called Strike. Up yours, Ziggy with a wah-wah brush. Those that know? No. So I
need to know.
It's a great movie. I also one thing again about Constance, I just think she's brilliant. Just such an Jessica Lange's just so incredible. So it's so hard to like separate like just how much I think she's amazing. But I like that she is just straight up honest with Addie. Like she's just straight up like, oh yeah, it's gonna make you very ill, and then you could have internal bleeding, and you could die. Also, can you spit in the batter?
Yes, because if you remember, it was the first episode where she mentions to Vivian that Addie loves to bake, but sometimes she just spits in the batter. Meanwhile, Constance is telling her to spit in the batter because when she mentioned to her that she was born different than the girls in the magazine, she says, but you were born with other gifts. So you're like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What other gifts do you have, and why are you spitting in the batter?
Yep.
Or are you just doing it to be nasty? We don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we cut to Ben jogging, and he's having flashbacks about some woman. It's blurry, but I can tell you that it's not a redhead like Vivian. It's Hayden.
It's Hayden.
Just so you know.
Yes.
He stops at a tunnel. He starts crying against the wall.
Oh, God,
Larry happens to be there.
Of course he does. Of course, Larry.
Larry keeps popping up. And if you remember from the last episode, he has a half-burnt face. And he tells Ben that, well, whatever's tearing you apart, the house already knows about it and it's going to use it against you. And Ben's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Larry keeps asking him, have you heard the voices yet? Because we learned in the last episode, I said the episode, the last episode that Larry killed his whole family.
Oh yeah. No, what's so awesome about this whole scene? Ben is like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is about me and what I did. And he confesses that he messed around on Vivian. And my favorite part is Larry straight up is like disgusted by this. Like he judges him. And Ben's like, yo, you killed your whole family. And And Larry's like, yeah, but I never cheated.
That is crazy. And the saddest part is people really have that logic.
Oh, of course.
Like I think of older generations of being like, it's kind of the opposite. They'll be like, maybe I hit her a little bit, but I never cheated.
I never cheated on her.
I guess that's not the opposite.
Well, the
but
bar is in hell.
no, it'll be the other way. It'll be like, okay, I cheated a little bit, but I never hit her. Like,
It's like
okay, that doesn't just like
round of applause.
void out the other horrible fucking thing that you've done.
No, it's no. He's awful, okay? He's awful, but Larry is hilarious. And I loved that he made Ben feel like shit on top of already feeling like shit. I thought that was chef's kiss, right? So Larry is like, yo, this is what you got to do. All right. You got to lie to your wife. Let's make the situation worse. Lie to your wife. All right. Make up some bullshit.
Yeah.
Say you got to go to Boston for something.
Yeah.
So Ben, the pathological liar that he is, says, bet. He tells Vivian he's got to go to Boston because he has an old client who tried to commit suicide and she won't talk to anyone. So he's doing the noble thing because the family has reached out to him and he's going to go help his old client. And Vivian, and it's so clever the way they shoot everything because you kind of get a sense at first like Vivian might be a little bit skeptical about this, but instead she is like, oh, Ben, you're such a good man.
Meanwhile, Ben was probably planning on lying to her the whole time anyway.
Of course.
I also was like, okay, Larry, what is your investment here? Like, why are you so obsessed with this man? Why do you care so much
Yes.
that everything goes so smoothly?
There's obviously something going on with Larry because every single time Ben walks away, Larry has this little look on his face like, I know something you don't know.
He has the most creepy, evil little smirk.
I
Like,
know.
he's like this. He's like the emoji that has like the half, like, every time you're like, okay.
I love it.
So we cut to the next day, and Constance is bringing over cupcakes to apologize for Addie intruding again. And she says, they're not for Vivian. They're for Violet.
Mm-hmm.
She even put little candied violets on top of them. How cute.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, why are you mad at Violet? Because I'm thinking that she's upset because they kicked Addie out again. And Addie just wants to be over there. Leave her alone. Because she got really mad the last episode when Vivian had the little conversation with her and grabbed Addie by the face, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking she is just like, fuck you guys. I'm going to fuck with your kid now.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking.
Right.
But she goes, this was funny to me too. Vivian's like, she wants a cupcake. And Constance goes, no, at your age, you might as well crazy glue a stick of butter to your ass.
The best is because Viv is like, oh, I'm good. I don't really want one. And Constance like lets out a laugh.
Yeah.
And she's just like, they're not for you.
Yeah.
Like it's so
and this is where I wrote Constance is so flawed, but I love almost everything she says.
I know
She's so problematic.
She is.
But she's also so hilarious.
I know. She really is.
But yeah, these cupcakes are for Violet and
but Viv wants to take so Viv is like Biv, I just called her Biv.
Bib.
So yes, Viv declines the cupcakes and then Constance is like, yeah, they're not for you, they're for Violet. But P.S., you got a bun in the oven. Constance knows she's pregnant and tells her that she has a really strong sense of smell and could smell the baby.
The pheromones.
The pheromones.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how I feel about that. That sounded very strange to me, but maybe some people do that. I don't know.
I feel like Constance has the intuition of like the most impeccable intuition. I totally believe she could clock that.
Oh, well, there's obviously more than meets the eye, right?
Yeah.
The Constance is not just like a normal lady. So this kind of sparks Viv's attention a little bit because Viv is a little bit worried about the baby. And the fact that Constance can smell the baby, Viv says straight up, if you can smell the baby, do you smell anything bad on it? And Constance, this is, again, she's so good at like baiting because immediately she just tells her coffee order. 2 creams, 1 sugar, and sits down.
Yep. Like, let's go.
Yeah, like she knew. This is how she knew.
Yeah.
Right? So immediately Viv's like, okay, well, let's share a cupcake. I love Constance's her face, because she's like, oh, no, that's not really for you. That's for Violet. And Viv is like, oh, well, we'll just share it. You know, we can.
She's not going to eat both.
Yeah, we'll just share this one. And Constance is like,
Now she can't say shit because she's going to blow her spot.
Exactly. So, she navigates the conversation well, obviously, but I thought that was just so clever.
But also, she's not going to stop her.
No.
Like, you're going to let this pregnant woman eat Epicap? Or what is it called?
I feel like,
Epicac.
I don't know if she would have, to be honest, because I have theories on this. I don't think she would have. and I'm only going by the look on her face. She
Okay.
legitimately looked concerned.
Yeah.
Like she legitimately looked like, oh shit, no, I don't want her to eat it.
Yeah.
How am I going to get out of this?
What am I gonna do?
What am I going to do? Right. So Viv goes on to ask her some questions like if Constance knew that Addie, for example, was going to have Downs, would she have kept Addie? And Constance is just straight up like, yeah, like, of
Yeah.
course I would, you know? And
Yeah. And the reason she asked that is because Constance kind of mentioned, she started to say something about like if those tests were available when I was pregnant in the
Right.
first episode.
right, exactly. And I think, you know, Viv is a 40 or over 40. And obviously, I don't know much about getting pregnant past 40, but that there could be complications. So I think this is part of her fear.
Yeah.
And Constance goes on to sort of tell her, confess kind of, that she has 4 kids. They all have an ailment, or not an ailment. They all have
That's basically what she says.
that's kind of how she words it, right?
There's a word she says, and I have it somewhere in my notes.
Yeah. And Viv takes that as Constance saying that all of her children had Downs.
Yeah.
And then Constance, I can't exactly
She
remember the
says
wording.
They all had some type of malady, which basically means an ailment or like a
Right.
chronic illness.
Which, okay. And so then she kind of stops and goes, well, one of them came out like gorgeous and beautiful and his model looks, but I lost him to something else,
To
she
other
says.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she's actually tearing up when she's saying this.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then she's like, all right, enough sad stuff. Your baby's fine. And
Yeah.
leaves.
Which is like, Constance clearly doesn't show emotions. And I think it's really clear in that scene that she didn't want Vivian to see her vulnerable.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
at the end of the day, she's a human being.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben comes in, he tries to eat one of the cupcakes, and Constance makes Moira put them away for Violet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised she wasn't like, yeah, you should eat one.
Mhm.
I think she just didn't want, you know, as soon as someone eats one, they're going to get violently ill. So she didn't want her, once again, her cover blown.
Yeah.
And the amount of words that Constance says that I have to look up is so funny. Like she says, the Harmons are offending my largesse. And I was like, did she just say my large ass?
I don't
My
know what that
large
means.
ass. Okay, a largesse refers to a generous gift you're bestowing onto someone, often implying a superior giving to an inferior. I'm like, of course,
Oh, yeah.
Constance would say that.
Yeah.
So like some people think of horror as being like, you know, smut or trashy, but the amount of times that just in 2 episodes American Horror Story has enhanced my vocabulary.
Right.
Is really just
Yeah.
let's go.
I love that.
And there's more in episode 3, just you wait.
I love it.
So Constance here says, Moira and I go way back. I even employed her for a time.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, there's definitely tension.
Yes.
You can see tension here, and the Harmons are seeing the tension.
Yeah. And Ben, of course, is still seeing Moira as the young, hot version, while everyone else is seeing her as old, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So Moira and Constance, you know, they leave. Ben is hugging Vivian, saying, oh, I wish you could come with me. No, you don't.
In my notes, it just says, Ben fucking sucks and I hate him.
I wrote, no, you don't, bitch. That was my exact line.
Yes, exactly. And I just wanted to say one more thing about Constance and Moira. They really do a great job of showing that they have deep history.
Yes. And you just want to know, what is it?
So badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about American Horror Story in general. They do so great setting things up, and you can feel that, okay, there's a connection here, but I don't know quite what it is yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
A mystery.
yes,
I
when
love
you're
a
watching
mystery.
it back, you can start to see things more easily. But while I was watching this, and even on the rewatch, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about so much.
Oh, I forgot the whole show. I'm not going to lie to you. I remember like the main things, but there was a lot. I feel like I'm watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
Honestly. So we're going to cut to Violet. She's chilling in her room. She's reading the book, The Stranger. She's being very angsty.
Okay, I know we feel a little differently about Violet.
Yes.
In general.
Yeah.
This is what I wrote about this scene.
Oh, I love it. Let's hear it.
I wrote that Violet's upstairs in her room, reading in the dark, listening to sad music, being emo as fuck. And I also wrote that she's being a moody little bitch about her mom being pregnant.
Wow, we definitely have different takes on this.
I know. Okay, as a once angsty teenager, I know we both were. I
Mhm.
think there's something about Violet in the second episode where she just starts to get on my nerves a little bit, where I'm like, just fucking cut your mom some slack. But I also understand her whole life was uprooted.
Yeah, I would say I think viewing things through the lens of Violet, at least okay, this is my take on it. I understand why Violet's so mad. I think you
Yeah.
understand why Violet's so
Yeah.
mad. I don't think she's being nice about it. She's not being mature, but she is being 17. Like she's handling
Yeah.
it like any 17-year-old would. And not for nothing, but she straight up tells her mother, having a baby is not going to save your fucking marriage. Dad's not
know.
going to become some, faithful, trustworthy, bang up dude just because you're having a baby.
Which is very true.
Yes.
But I think there's another part of me, maybe it's not Violet that annoys me as much, but like the situation where I look at this as like, she shouldn't have to know this. She shouldn't have to know about her parents' affair.
She shouldn't, but she does.
But she does, yeah.
And the
that's true.
fact that she knows, to me, justifies her anger. And not only
Yeah.
that, like her parent, I mean, we're going to keep going in the show, obviously, but just on the first 2 episodes alone, the parents are not stable.
Yeah.
There is so much instability
Mhm.
that I get why she looks at her and she's like, you're weak.
That part, I was like, holy shit. She's not wrong. Also,
I don't know. That's hard, man.
I totally understand where she's coming from, and she also annoys me at the same time.
Yeah,
And
because
I
she's
think-
young and immature, and
Yeah.
right.
And I think it's more of like the 3rd episode that I'm thinking of where I'm like, Violet, shut up. But we'll get there. It's also important to note here that her mom didn't tell her yet that she is pregnant, but Violet clocked it.
yes.
She's like, I can tell, like, you stopped drinking wine at dinner.
That's exactly
You're-
why I think her anger is justified. She's being shut out and she's not stupid.
Yeah.
She's being shut out and then told to just go along with everything. They moved into this house.
Yeah.
I mean, as you'll see, we're gonna see the episodes go on. The parents are just inept. And I feel
They
for
are.
Viv. I feel for Viv because she's in such a hard spot.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I also think with Violet, seeing her with Tate, they both seem like teenagers that just want to hate everything.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
that.
You're
It's that
trying
age.
to hate everything, you
For
know?
sure. It's that age.
For sure.
However,
And I was like that at one point.
for sure, I was too. Now, there's only one thing I want to say. Most of the time, and I'm not saying all the time, but I'm just going to say just based off Violet, let's just go with Violet's life.
Mhm.
Like, there's that thing of like, oh, teenagers they're just annoying and but they're kids that are not emotionally developed or equipped enough to handle what is being put in front of them and
That
what
part.
they're forced to deal with. And Violet specifically is not only like not being, I don't want to say not well cared for because she is well cared for, but she's being manipulated by Tate under the nose of her parents. Her parents don't even know that Tate is manipulating and planting seeds inside her head.
Yep.
And, Violet's lonely. And her mom's pregnant, so she's gonna be even further away from Violet. Like, there's so many, like, it's so layered.
It is very layered, and I do enjoy that it's so layered.
Me too. It's like
She-
shit. I feel for her.
There's no way that she can process this, and there's no way that she's
Yeah.
able to regulate her emotions about everything that's going on. For sure.
And as we'll see as the episode goes on, and in the end of the episode, she ends up changing her perspective of what she thinks her mother is, and it's because her mother allows her to see that side of her, that she is fucking brave.
Yeah.
She can stand up for herself. Violet hasn't seen that side of her.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway.
I agree.
Mm.
So Violet is just not having it, and she ends up setting the cupcake outside of her room. She doesn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Ben is in Boston with Hayden.
Oh my God, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. This scene was so triggering for me. I don't know what it was, but I just found it. I was just like, Hayden, I find so fucking annoying. I'm not gonna
I was
lie.
just gonna say, am I annoyed by every character in this show?
She's so annoying, but I also have a lot of compassion for her
Yeah,
because Ben is the worst.
yeah.
And it's just just this scene alone to me just screams that Ben has fucked this girl's head up to the
Yeah.
point of no return. I
Yes.
don't know. Like,
Yeah.
she even refers to Vivian as Saint Viv.
Oh, that was shade. 100%.
Oh, 100% shade. She's acting as if she's okay with the abortion, but she's also like all up on Ben. Like,
Yes.
It's
so let's
just-
break it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vivian is calling him number one, and he's sending it to voicemail. So already, he's just setting himself up for trouble here.
yep.
Hayden thanks him for coming and is like, I just need you until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
She's handing him a glass of wine. She's also drinking, and she's telling him, I'm over you, just so you know.
It is so obvious that she is not.
She is not.
She is in love with this man.
She is sitting so close to him that she's practically on his lap. Like, I'm not judging that part. It's just, you're not over him, girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she's trying to convince herself. And she's like, you're my teacher. You're a married man. Like, what was I thinking? That's not who I want to be anymore. I just want your support. Cool. Okay.
This is all just lip service for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as you've already mentioned, she's asking him to come support her while she gets an abortion, which is supposed to happen the next morning.
She's much younger than him too.
Yes.
I'd say she's probably 22, 21.
Early 20s for sure.
Yeah.
And he's what, like in his 40s?
40s, I'd say. Yeah.
And she's like, look, once that's over, you can go back to St. Vivian. I was like, ooh. And I go back to my studies, and she mentions personality theory and psychopathology. She's a smart gal, okay? But she's also going through it herself. She gets up to go get a pizza because the pizza guy's at the door. He checks his phone, and she freaks out.
Oh, she crashes out huge here.
Yes. She's like, you said no calls. She starts hyperventilating. He goes to hug her. She just starts sobbing. And then she says, all I ever wanted was for you to love me.
Okay, so
is that what triggered you?
Dude, this is
same.
This is what I'm saying when I say this man completely screwed her head up. Can you imagine the hot and cold inconsistency that this guy put her through, to the point that she is now crying in his arms because his wife is calling him? That's how deluded and how confused she is because of what he put her through. I'm sorry, but it was
heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking for so many reasons.
Yeah. And just being such a young girl. She's 21. Like
she's in her early 20s.
Fucking baby, man.
That's still a baby for
real.
real.
And he's a professor, an adult. He's married.
I can't speak for everyone. I'm sure not every woman has gone through this, but I feel like a lot of women have gone through a similar situation. Where you're being manipulated, or I don't want to say groomed, but manipulated and just taken advantage of by an older man, even if it's just like not taken advantage of in whatever degree that means for you. I guess what I'm trying to say is like,
well, there's a power dynamic there.
There's a power dynamic, but it's also like when you're naive.
Yes.
And
they know you're naive.
Making you, yes, they're taking advantage of your naivete.
Yes.
And making you think that, oh, we could be in a relationship. We could actually be in love.
This is why she's crying, because he has convinced her on some level that they're going to be together. And that's usually how that shit works.
Yeah.
Not always, but my gosh, in that situation when it's a much older man and a much younger girl, are you fucking kidding me? And I think it goes other way around. Much older girl, much younger guy. It's fucking weird. It is predatory either way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially
when there's that power dynamic. Student and teacher, come on. It's a tale as old as time.
Yo, he's the worst, but don't worry. It's going to get bad for him. So we're okay.
There's also a part of me that's like, girl, did you know he was married when you did this?
Girly girl, we don't mess with married men. Come on.
So I feel for her, but I also don't. I feel torn about Hayden.
I agree with you. I think I would have to know the lead up. We don't know enough about the backstory.
Exactly.
Here. So, and I'm always going to side.
Naturally.
Right.
Naturally.
Definitely not. I'm not signing with Ben. That's for sure.
That's for fucking sure. But he's like, okay, no more calls, no more calls. And he puts his phone in her purse, it looked like, right? Now, Vivian is at home. She's watching what sounds like this old black and white horror movie maybe, but we don't see what it is. We love to look up what they're watching. The doorbell rings, and it is a woman with what looks like blood on her head. She goes, sorry to bother you, but I'm hurt and I'm needing some help. Okay. Vivian is like, what happened to you? Like, what's going on? She's talking to her through the peephole. And the woman just keeps repeating herself. I need help. I need help. And Vivian's like, I'll call the cops for you. And she's like, what kind of woman are you? Let me in. Obviously very sus. Okay. She starts banging on the door, and Vivian goes to call 911. She realizes the phone isn't on the charger. It's like a cordless landline. And then the banging stops. So she goes back.
Oh, it's her BlackBerry. They showed it earlier in the episode. Vivian looked at her BlackBerry charging, and they kind of zoomed in on it.
Okay. I had to rewind this 10 times, and I'm like, what the fuck are they zooming in on?
Oh, the phone,
because there was like something reflective there. I thought they were trying to zoom in like someone was behind her. I'm like, what are they zooming in on? And I'm like, maybe it was a cordless phone on a charger.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was the BlackBerry.
That makes sense because they do all have BlackBerries. I also want to mention.
Oh, I love a BlackBerry.
Really?
Oh, I miss my BlackBerry. I would switch my shitty iPhone for a BlackBerry in a freaking heartbeat.
I never had a BlackBerry, but I used to have a phone that was, I don't remember what brand it was. I know it was Verizon. It wasn't a normal flip phone, but it flipped open.
Oh yeah,
the long way.
Yeah,
and had a full keyboard.
Had a keyboard. I remember those phones.
A physical keyboard.
Yeah.
I still have mine somewhere.
Oh, I love that.
And I cannot believe I actually did a video on my Patreon going through the photos and videos that were on that phone. The fact that I thought I was taking like these high quality pictures, and they're like an inch.
And like so fuzzy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
I
love
also wanted to mention this is a similarity with the Richard Speck case because how he got into the house with the nursing students is he knocked on the door.
it.
They thought that it was one actually the survivor, Cora, she thought that it was one of her housemates. So she went to open the door and then he pushed his way in.
Did he stage them?
He didn't stage them, but I know that he did. There were two bodies that were laid on top of each other, and it wasn't clear if he put them there or if one was trying to maybe crawl.
Okay, I just remember a case. There was a case like this,
Mm-hmm.
and he would stage them. It's really messed up. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Yeah. But that was a slight similarity where he was knocking on the door and maybe not acting like he was hurt. But then he pushed his way in.
gotcha.
So this woman wants her to open the door so she can push her way in.
Mm-hmm.
Banging stops on the door. Vivian goes back. She sees through the peephole that the girl is gone. And then we see shadows moving behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So Vivian yells for Violet. She tells Violet, go get your phone, call 911, lock yourself in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So then we see a masked person walking up behind Vivian. And now through the peephole, the lady is out there again, but she has a mask on too. It's very like the strangers.
That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. It's all, even when they are revealed, it's all very The Strangers for
Yes.
sure. Mm-hmm.
So they tie up Vivian and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
And Vivian is, of course, offering them money, like whatever you want, just leave us alone.
Mm-hmm.
One says, we don't want money, and then tells the others to take their masks off.
Mm-hmm.
And then says, the transcript was very clear. The nurses saw R. Franklin. He had nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to recreate what R. Franklin did in the beginning of this episode with the nurses.
I know you're saying R. I know you're saying the letter R. Franklin.
Our Lady of Peace. Is that what it sounds like I'm saying? You know,
It looks
our
like you're saying like our Franklin.
our little Franklin.
Franklin, the one that went to the house and killed the nurses.
Ew.
My God.
But they're trying to recreate the R. Franklin murders exactly. I'm just gonna call him Franklin, okay? His last name is Franklin in this scenario. I'm just gonna call him Franklin.
Calling him ours.
He is not ours. We do not claim him.
No.
But they all take off their masks.
Yeah.
And the girl in the middle is Bianca, the girl from earlier, the one who had a session with Ben and was being really weird about the house.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The
Can I also tell you that my character, the bunny, some of it was based on The Strangers? Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
The other two are Fiona and Dallas. And Fiona was the girl outside the door. She's kind of like leading the charge here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because Fiona is Jessica Lange's name in season 3, Coven.
I didn't know
So-
that.
I mean, obviously they didn't know that at this time, but
Yeah.
they liked the name so much they reused it.
It's a great name.
I do like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona has a surprise for Dallas and Bianca. She got the authenticated bowl or ashtray or whatever the fuck it was that was used to bash Maria off of eBay. Like, look, I'm morbidly curious about true crime, okay? I do listen to some true crime, but the people who are obsessed with serial killers in that way, like they glorify them and they want like
Oh, it's
the
fucked
things
up.
like actual murder weapons. I don't like that shit.
Dude, I couldn't even finish the Golden State Killers book. It was scared me.
Oh.
It scared me so much.
was
I was
it written by him?
no.
Oh, okay.
But really,
Oh
like,
yeah, that was one that was found out recently, right? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it was a really scary book. Yeah, I don't glorifying murderers. I just don't get it.
When we went to the Museum of Horror in Monroe, Michigan,
Yeah,
that one room
I
that
didn't
was
love
like
it.
all
real true. The energy felt
like real murder photos, and they also have a section of
Like crime-
We
crime
went for the
photos and
horror
stuff.
stuff
yeah,
that
yeah,
was upstairs.
yeah.
But they have like actual true crime, like
Not into it.
John Wayne Gacy painted this. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit.
I don't give a
And
fuck
I don't-
about his paintings.
I don't, and I don't give
No.
a fuck if this makes people mad. If you have a tattoo of a fucking pedophile on your body, that's fucking weird, bro.
It's a weird choice.
That's weird, and you're weird.
it's a weird choice.
You're moving weird, and I don't like it. It really upsets me.
It's a weird choice for sure.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Now, I love horror movie killers, but
Yes.
they're not real.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. Having a favorite serial killer is very like early 2000s wannabe edgy.
Oh, 100%. You say that when you're like 14, not when you're
Exactly.
34.
Because I was about to say, I remember doing I wrote a paper in 9th grade about Charles Manson.
Sure.
But I was a child. So I'm like,
Right.
guess what I found out? You know
exactly.
what I mean?
The stuff exactly when you're a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
Anyways.
So now Bianca is asking who goes first. Which one is Gladys or Gladys, depending on how
Gladys.
depending on which you prefer. Dallas wants Violet to take off her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Very upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona tells them that Franklin, I was about to say R. Franklin again. Franklin hated nurses and he had a bad reaction to mercury from a broken thermometer when he was a kid. So she's like giving Vivian and Violet the backstory here on Franklin.
Yep.
And she also tells us that he took Gladys upstairs and drowned her in the tub. We didn't see that happen in the beginning, but we see it as she's telling the story. So they're showing us the reenactment of it. And she says he was the first before Manson. And then they try making Violet put on the uniform, but she fights back and she gets away.
Yeah, she runs off, and when she runs off, Tate actually grabs her and pulls her like into a hallway and covers her mouth and is like, get them into the basement. Just get them into the basement. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, just get them into the basement. And she's like, okay. We cut to Viv, who's tied up, and Dallas is just yapping at her. It's brutal. Like he's just yapping, right? And she sees Addie in the background behind Dallas, like in the other room. So Viv, being the clever gal that she is, starts saying to Dallas, like, you will never get away from this. Someone's gonna call the police. You're gonna fry. They're not gonna let this happen to us. So essentially she's telling Addie to go get help. Yeah. And Addie does take this and understands what she's asking her to do, which we will find out. We cut back over to Violet. We hear the faucet is running upstairs, right? Violet is changing into her nurse's outfit and she's kind of making small talk with Fiona, and she asks her where she got, if she's like, are these nylons vintage? And Fiona just like very casually is like, oh, we got it from the nurse's catalog. Anyways, Bianca shows up, walks into the bathroom and tells them that she ate the cupcake that was outside of Violet's door and she's not feeling so well now. Her stomach's kind of upset, okay? Then as this is kind of happening, Violet starts giggling to herself, right? And Fiona's like, what's so funny? You think this is so funny? You're about to die, whatever. And Violet's like, well, actually, this isn't the right bathtub. You think you know so much about this crime. You don't know shit about this house. This bathtub, we remodeled this house. The bathtub's actually in the basement. Fiona doesn't believe her. And she's like, oh, no, it really is. And explains kind of what it looks like. And so Fiona is like, well, fuck it. I guess I believe you then. Violet's so smart. And she's so, she holds it together really well. Yeah. Like she's, I would not be able to hold it together at 17, but
yeah, watching that, I was like, I would hope that I would be that quick to think of something like that. Right. And you can tell, because she can tell that Fiona wants everything exact. Like, okay, 10:57, we have to hurry up and put her in the bathtub. And so she's like, oh, I'm going to tell her she doesn't know all the facts. And it bothers Fiona. For sure. And Violet, I mean, even from the first episode, you can tell Violet is smart, she's clever, and she pays attention to things. Yeah. Now, she might not get stuff right away, but man, she does. Yeah. She does, okay? So we're going to cut to Constance now. Yeah. Who is hanging out with a much younger guy. This guy is telling her that he wants to be a model, and she's entertaining this. And Addie runs in, and she tries to tell Constance, like, yo, there are some bad people next door. Some shit's going down. Now, Constance, instead of listening to Addie, just takes this as Addie is irritating her. She's annoying her. She's interrupting her on, her time with her man. And it's absolutely fucking horrible. She grabs Addie and tosses her into a closet filled with mirrors and tells her to stare at herself. It's all very Carrie. And when Addie looks in the mirrors, she looks at her face and starts screaming. And it's fucking horrifying. It is horrible. It made me cry. I was not expecting the mirrors. I thought just locking her in the closet is bad enough. It's very Carrie. Yeah. And Constance doesn't want to hear it because she has her little boy toy over. He's dumb as a box of rocks, but Constance does not care. Oh no, he's pretty. He's pretty, and he tells her she's pretty. And he's shirtless. A lot of shirtless men in this episode. Yeah. Meanwhile, Bianca is now throwing up. She goes to find Fiona, but everyone is gone. She goes into the bathroom. She gets met by Tate, who hits her in the stomach with an axe. Oh, like he chops her in half. He tries to chop her in half. Out of nowhere. Oh, yeah, it's great. I was like, oh, we're just going to a 10. All right, let's go. So she's bleeding profusely. She's slowly making her way down the hallway. She's leaving blood all along the walls. And then we're going to cut to Dallas putting a cross necklace onto Vivian. So they're really going through with all these little details.
For sure.
He cuts her loose and tells her to put on the nurse uniform. She ends up throwing the uniform in his face and trying to run. I'm like, girl, you got to do a little more than that. You got to like hit him or something.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs her, throws her to the ground. He goes to stab her. She smashes him in the head with the bowl. And then she gets on top of him and knocks him out with it.
I mean, she hits him over the head over and over and over and over.
I thought that she killed him.
I thought she bashed his brains in
But
for
she
real.
didn't.
No, she didn't. So Violet and Fiona are now walking down the basement together, okay? Fiona's kind of leading, or Violet's leading her downstairs, all right? They get a little bit closer, and all you see is the bathtub with Tate next to it, and there's light shining in from the window. It's a really cool shot. It looks very creepy. It almost looks like there's a spotlight on it, and Tate has this little smile on his face, and the lights go out, and he calls out to her, and he's like, "Over here, you stupid bitch."
Which is exactly what I would say.
100%. It made me think of you. He's standing next to the tub with a smile on his face. It looks very creepy. And so Fiona starts walking towards the bathtub. You know, she's hesitant, but as she gets closer and closer, she gets a little bit closer, and then Gladys sits up in the bathtub. It's pretty crazy.
Yes. Now we cut back over to Constance, who is already done with her little friend. He's fast asleep. And she can hear Vivian screaming for someone to help them as her and Violet are running down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So Dallas, we see, wakes up here. So his brains are not bashed in, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
He goes downstairs with his knife. He gets to the tub and he sees Fiona on the ground. Her throat is ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
Then the nurses appear, Maria and Gladys. And now, before we see what happens, we're going to cut to Ben and Hayden at the clinic.
Dude, they make the clinic so depressing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is a depressing place, but they make it so depressing.
Yeah.
Like there's a okay, no, I'm laughing. I'm sorry. The reason I'm it's comical to me is it's so heavy-handedly depressing.
Yeah.
It's like and Hayden is like, "It's okay. I'm okay," but she says something that breaks my fucking heart here.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sitting and she's waiting to go in and she's filling the paperwork and she's telling Ben, first of all, the fact that she is comforting Ben a little bit here, and she's like, you know, "It's okay. I'm really okay. It would be nice if you could come back there with me, but it's okay." Dude, my heart broke for her.
Did you take that as Ben was choosing not to come back there?
I took it as, no, I don't think he was allowed to go back there, but I think it just demonstrates the whole of their relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like he's abandoning her left and right. You know what I'm saying?
And she's very alone. And
she's alone.
Yeah.
I think that's the point. And it kind of showed her age and her humanity.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It just made me sad. So they're at the clinic and she's like very sad, but she goes to the back, right? She's going to the back. Ben sits there and, you know, he says goodbye to her. And then all of a sudden his phone rings and it's Vivian.
He has 13 missed calls from Vivian.
Dude, he freaks out and he leaves the clinic while Hayden is in the back.
Yeah, so she's going to come out of there and he's going to be gone.
Dude, that's insanity.
I know.
I know the situation is crazy, but like, you
Yeah.
can't leave her there.
I know. Like, could you not have gone like,
Why do you have to be so horrible?
could you not go tell like the receptionist, like, hey, I also, whatever. I don't know.
He's the worst. He's
Yeah,
the worst. Okay.
yeah.
He's the worst.
But
Moving
back at the house,
Mhm.
Constance is standing with Tate and Moira. and
I love this scene.
yes, it's just like the camera's kind of like underneath them a little bit. It's Constance, Tate, Moira. They're standing in front of the dead bodies of Dallas and Fiona. So we don't see what happens to Dallas and Fiona, but we see the aftermath. And Constance asks Tate if this was his handiwork. He says no. And then Moira says it was them.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is them? Tate tells Constance, we have to get rid of the bodies if you want them to keep treating me.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're starting to put some things together. Moira says, I'll get the shovel, you get the bleach. So this ain't her first rodeo, okay?
No.
And they are all connected.
They're all connected. And what I love so much about this scene is, I mean, I'm a sucker for when people come together as a group. Like when you see characters that you haven't seen on screen really come together and then you see them all together.
Yes.
The fact that the three of them are standing there and it's Tate on one side, Constance in the middle, and Moira on the other side, it's almost like this silent allegiance to each other. There's like a
Yeah.
little bit of an alliance here
Yeah.
that isn't, but is. And that they all, unfortunately, are intertwined with each other and they have to help each other out.
Right.
And I just thought it's such a cool visual of the three of them, especially when we find out down the line how they're all related to each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now Ben is back home. He's at the table with Vivian and 2 detectives.
Right.
And he just tells them, I was in Boston seeing a patient, Ginny Blevins. And they show him a picture of Bianca and ask if this is who he claims to have seen the other day when she was casing the house. He thinks that she must have been casing the house.
Right.
And he says, yes. They tell him she was found 6 blocks from here, practically cut in half. And they say it seems like she couldn't go through with whatever they were doing here in the house. She ran off. Her friends, Fiona and Dallas, went after her and tried to do a Black Dahlia on her.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're familiar with the Black Dahlia case, where a woman was found cut in half in the grass, which is interesting because there will be another reference to Black Dahlia in this season.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, that was the nightmare that Bianca told Ben she kept having, was that the elevator was cutting her in half.
Insane.
So now Fiona and Dallas are missing, but the detectives think they're still on the loose, attempting to recreate other famous LA murders.
Yeah, because they think that they killed whatever her name is.
Bianca,
right? Yeah.
So the detectives leave. Violet comes in. Ben is upset because Violet claims Tate helped her escape, and he doesn't know why Tate was even in the house in the first place. And she's like, I don't know why he was, but I'm glad he was. Like, he saved us.
And the thing is, I understand why he's concerned about that, but I love she looks at him and she's like, well, he was here and you weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, because you were with your mistress while she was, oh my God.
And then Violet tells her mom, you were really brave.
I know.
I loved that part.
I did too.
Vivian is upset that Ben wasn't there, but it's more like, I wish you could have been here because she thinks that he was doing something noble in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, I'm home now. And she says, no, you're not. And starts walking away. And as she walks away, she says, we're selling this house. The end.
Great episode.
It was a great episode. So much happens. And I love the flashbacks throughout this entire season. I love learning more and more about what has happened in this house.
I'm an old school Lost gal. Like, I loved the show Lost. So anytime there's a show where there's mystery and flashbacks, baby, I am locked and loaded. Let's go.
Maybe I should have watched Lost. I never watched it, but I love everything you just said.
Oh, you should just watch it anyways.
That's
You should
what I'm
binge
saying.
it. Yeah, you'd love it. It's really good. But this was a great episode. We learned a few new things here. Some, we got a little bit of backstory, for example, on Constance and Moira. We see that they have some history there.
Yeah.
Tate seems to really have a thing for Violet.
He's breaking into their house or something.
Pretty weird. Yep. There's a connection there with him and Constance. And Hayden apparently had terminated her pregnancy. We'll see what happens with that.
We'll see what happens in episode 3. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I just have to say, I put on these fake nails. I put on my little press-ons. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like, I cannot stop.
You're a new
I'm
person.
like this.
I'm not gonna lie.
I am a new
I noticed,
person.
and I was like, yes, girl, feel it.
I am talking with my hands the whole time. Like, so anyway, then
There is
Constance.
nothing like getting, when your nails are done, I'm a whole new human. I am like, I've got my shit together. Now, when the tan's on, you can't even fucking say nothing to me.
Oh, just wait.
The God complex that I develop when I've self-tanned, my hair is freshly blonde, the extensions are new, curled, and I have fake nails on.
Your makeup is sitting right.
Don't forget the lashes, baby. All right. Anyways.
Anywho, let us know what you thought about this episode. We love
Yes.
reading your comments on YouTube and Instagram and all that fun stuff.
Hell yes.
You can follow our Instagram at Chainsaw Girls Pod. That is also our YouTube as well, and our TikTok. And we also have a Patreon where every month, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at just their delivery of the Instagram. You're like, and we also have this Instagram.
Because it's like I'm finding the words as my mouth is already moving. That's exactly what's happening.
Exactly. We do have a Patreon, and
Yes.
we're gonna shout out our top tier patrons right here. Here
Let's
we
go.
We got Jason M, John M, David G. We got John M, John W. We got a lot of Johns here. Rob V, David T, Heather D. We got Franchise Driller, aka Ryan. What up? Millie C, Adrian G. We got Chris S, Alexis T, Adam VL, and James C. You guys are our top tier patrons. We appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.